नमस्कार। आज का जो राइट एंगल का जरिए में आप लोगों के सामने में एक पर्टिकुलर जो घटनाएं हो रहा है हमारा मिडल ईस्ट में, जिसको बोलते हैं वेस्ट एशिया में, उसके बारे में थोड़ा सा चर्चा करना चाहता हूँ और मेरा अपना विचार आपके सामने रखना चाहता हूँ। In some of my previous episodes, I have always, said that how all the trouble spurts and their particular impact on various countries are so polarized that we really do not know what is true and what is the real thing. And उस बैकग्राउंड के साथ नज़र रख के अगर आप देखेंगे the things that are happening in Middle East or West Asia particularly right now, and आप जानते हैं कि जो हमारा मीडिया और दी वेस्टर्न मीडिया एंड देन दिस ओपिनियन मेकर्स, they in my considered view totally dominate today's global media these days. And as here say in our own country, though somebody says that no, that is not true, it is just the converse is true, but I think it is really the other way around, because the disproportionate influence that the so-called left liberal elements have on the media, not only here in India but also all over the world, they project things in such a manner that if you do not look at the things very dispassionately, then we are really unable to know what the facts are. So let us talk of this Middle East, अभी की West Asia, जिसको हम लोग बोलते हैं West Asia, but earlier it is more popularly known as the Middle East, because during the colonial days, for the Western powers, who were the colonial masters for them, there was a Near East, that is that Eastern European and Mediterranean country, then this Middle East, this, then of course I do not know where we South Asian belonged, and beyond that, that is called the Far East, means your China, Japan, Korea, and that is how they had geopolitically described the world. But now, after we call it, West Asia, Southeast Asia, East Asia, Northeast Asia, things of that way. But anyway, what is happening there now? Since October last year, when Hamas, who control that Gaza of the Palestinian Authority territory, they attacked, and very brutal attack on Israel, and इतना लोगों को मारे, उनका more than 300 people को ले आके बंदी बनाए, and जघन्य रूप से मारे थे, and उसके बाद इसराइल ने रिटेलिएट किया है। मैं जो बोलूँगा the reality आपको तब समझ जाएंगे, because the genesis was that the current phase of conflicts in Middle East can be traced to that attack on October 7, 2023 on Israel by Hamas. But actually the country which was the source of this power, but whatever was happening, I the real controller of all these things that Hamas attack में जो था वो था actually Iran. Why Iran was doing it? आप जानते हैं ये जब अटैक होने से पहले इसराइल का काफ़ी साउथ ये जो वेस्ट एशियन कंट्रीज जैसे इनके साथ अंडर दी सो कॉल्ड अब्राहम अकॉर्ड्स जब ट्रम्प प्रेसिडेंसी था वो काफ़ी नॉर्मलाइज सिचुएशन हो रहा था, इन्होंने यूएई के साथ नॉर्मलाइज रिलेशंस कर दिए थे, बहरीन के साथ नॉर्मलाइज रिलेशंस कर दिए थे. तो देयर आर सीरियस टॉक्स दैट सबसे मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टेंट कंट्री, द रिचेस्ट कंट्री ऑफ द मिडल ईस्ट सऊदी अरेबिया के साथ भी इनका होने वाला था. एंड आपको ये भी याद होना चाहिए कि जब हमारा G20 समिट या हुआ था उस टाइम में हमने इंडिया यूएस हमने एक नया कॉरिडोर बनाना चाहते हैं कि नया इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर कॉरिडोर, एंड दैट व्हिच शुड बी when it materializes or when it is effectively implemented or completed, that means half rail, half sea, half road agar hota hai, then that would be going through what, from here it will go to UAE for instance, by ship, from there on the train or rail, ye sab bana jayega, and both to Saudi Arabia, then Israel, then again ship, and then to Europe, parallel ek route. तो उसके लिए क्या होना जरूरी था, दैट अमेरिका वाज स्ट्रांगली वर्किंग दैट सऊदी अरेबिया एंड इसराइल के साथ रिलेशंस में नॉर्मलाइजेशन हो जाएगा. उसको रोकने के लिए, बेसिकली उसको रोकने के लिए एंड क्या 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 ये अटैक किया गया, ईरान ने किया, बिकॉज ये जो गाजा में जो हमास, दैट इज ए टेररिस्ट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन. हम बोलते हैं कि पीपल डू नॉट अब के पास ये जो दिस मीडिया the way the things are projected, they never will tell you the real truth. The truth is this: they are talking of Palestine Authority, Palestine will be a separate state. That Palestine वाला जो है West Bank this side, and then ये जो Gaza bordering Egypt, they are at least hundreds of miles apart. बट लेकिन वो जो पैलेस्टाइन अथॉरिटी, उनका जो प्रेसिडेंट का कोई कब्जा नहीं है यहाँ. ये जो हमास जो है, जो गाजा को टोटली कंट्रोल करके रखे थे, दे वेयर एक्चुअली रिमोट कंट्रोल बाय ईरान. सो एज आई से, व्हाट इज हैपनिंग नाउ, और व्हाट वाज हैपनिंग, व्हाट इज द नेचर ऑफ दिस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन ऑफ हमास. एंड सिमिलरली जो लेबनान में अभी जो आपने देखे होंगे, अभी जो राइट नाउ जो इंटेंसिफिकेशन हुआ है कॉन्फ्लिक्ट, वो पहले पेजर्स एक्सप्लोजन हुआ, अभी उसके बाद वो वाकी टकी में, वो मेरा ख्याल में वहाँ भी कुछ हुआ. एंड राइट नाउ आई थिंक टुडे इजरायली फोर्सेस आर मार्चिंग इनटू दैट सदर्न लेबनान. एंड देन वहाँ से भी जो हाइथी जो रिबेल्स हैं येमेन में, दे आर पार्टिसिपेटिंग इन द वॉर इन सपोर्ट ऑफ दिस हिजबुल्ला. अब देखिए जो हिजबुल्ला भी जो है एंड ये जो हमास है, सपोज दीज आर द टू प्रिंसिपल फोर्सेस दैट इसराइल इज नाउ इन्वॉल्व विथ. वो क्या टोटली दे आर कंट्रोल्ड बाय ईरान, बिकॉज ईरान डिड नॉट वांट एनी नॉर्मलाइजेशन. अगर ये हो जाएगा देन उसका द एंटायर फॉरेन पॉलिसी की स्ट्रैटेजिक कैलकुलेशंस विल गो distorted, and that will be a big strategic loss for Iran. That is why जब हम बोलते हैं जो हमास क्या है, that's why I say that, मैंने और भी एक प्रीवियस एपिसोड में बता रहा था कि जो सो कॉल्ड लेफ्ट लिबरल जो फोर्सेस है, the Islamists have joined hands with them. And when I talk of Islamist, I think it can be further explained in the. It is not that one is saying that the all Muslims are bad, or Islam as a religion ko I have anything against them. Sorry, it is far from that. But what is happening in the name of Islam, ये क्या होता है कि virus, if one may say so. Actually some strategic analysts, they said WK virus. WK virus in this W, this Wahhabism. एंड ये जो के वायरस जो ईरान में अभी जो खोमेनी साहब जो है, खोमेनी जो है उनका जो, ही इज द रियल पावर है. डेमोक्रेसी ऑल बकवास, दिस आर ह्यूज मिथ. दिस खामेनिज्म स्टैंड्स फॉर के, एंड दिस वहाबिज्म द फंडामेंटलिस्ट इस्लामिक आउटफिट. सो दिस WK virus now have become so predominant that, and it has got such supporter, they are not realizing, just because they are doing everything under the name of Islam, the real peaceful Muslims and even normal organizations, they are not being able to come and protest openly against Wahhabism and this communism. So this WK virus, तो ये होने के बाद क्या होता है? This is precisely what has happened in the Hamas. Hamas is completely, it is a Sunni Wahhabism fundamentalist organization. As I said, that is a terrorist organization. It is not under the control of the Palestine, authority. I mean, which actually, when people talk of Israel and Palestine, अरे भाई वो पैलेस्टाइन वाला तो राजी हो जाएंगे भाई, there are 2 state solutions, वो है नहीं है वो तो अलग बात है, लेकिन as long as that Gaza is under Hamas, ये हमास वाला का क्या थ्योरी है? They do not believe in the existence of Israel as an independent and sovereign state. ये जितने सब स्ट्रैटेजिक एनालिस्ट आप जिनके थ्रू में आप पेपर में पढ़ते हो, आप इनको पूछिए कि ये जो हमास वाला जो है, आप बोलते हो कि इस्राएल को सीज फायर कर देना चाहिए, बहुत हो गया, उन्होंने डिस्प्रोपोर्शनेटली उसका रिस्पॉन्स हुआ है, इतना लोग मर गए हैं. अरे भाई इनको तो बोलो भाई, वो जो मोर देन 100 जो लोग हैं, उनका जो बंदी अभी जो हैं तुम्हारा होस्टेजेस, उनको तो छोड़ दो. हैव यू एवर हर्ड देम सेइंग दैट भाई we will be forcing or imposing moral, economic, diplomatic, military pressure on Israel to stop the actions there, but you please release these hostages unconditionally. If Israel unconditionally will be withdrawing from that or be having some ceasefire, please ask them to release those more than 100 Israeli hostages whom you have kept for nearly now over nearly October nearly 1 year. कोई बोलता है होस्टेजेस रिलीज के बारे में एक ही बात नहीं सुनोगे आप. ओनली देखोगे आजकल जो न्यूज़पेपर में कि कोई मीडिया में कि इसराइल कैसे भाई हम ये गाजा छोड़ें एंड वहाँ सीज फायर लें एंड you know that various other things. I do not want to go into that, how that so-called international criminal court has imposed something. They want this guy to be Netanyahu to arrested. वो अलग बात है. Let's not go into detail. I am talking of very simple. I am posing some very simple questions. Very simple questions. भाई ये अगर बंद होने के लिए why can't the Hamas release more than 100 hostages that still it has and then pressurize Israel? I can understand that. And secondly, when you are talking of a permanent peace, then ask Hamas to forego its stated policy of not believing in the existence of Israel as a sovereign and independent state, because Iran doesn't believe in that. Iran's state policy is Israel has no right to exist. The Jews have no right to live peacefully in their own country called Israel. They don't have any right to exist as an independent and sovereign country. That means the destruction, the very destruction of Israel is the primary goal. But these are the things we are not coming across in today's media. Similarly, Lebanon. The Lebanon technically is in sovereign, independent country, and it was the most cosmopolitan country. If you are talking of the entire Middle East, in that entire Middle East region, that is the most cosmopolitan. Beirut, so many films were made earlier. I think the very famous movie which we saw when we were kids. I was a kid. The very famous movie, Dharmendra Malasena, Aankhein. That movie was shot there, screened there. And when it became an independent country, because there are many Christians were there, the Lebanese constitution always guarantees that the president will always become a Christian. The prime minister will be a Muslim, and I think the speaker will be a Shia Muslim. If I'm not exactly very sure, but I think the speaker of their national assembly will be a Shia, prime minister will be Sunni, and the president will be a Christian. But nobody is asking Is Lebanon really a sovereign and independent country? We do not have a president because that Christians, I don't know, their number has come down, or these people are not allowing now to make a Christian be installed as they are the president of the country. But the most important thing is this Hezbollah, they are the most powerful element. They occupy nearly 1/3 of Lebanon. They are Lebanese, but then 1/3 they happen to be Shia Muslims, but every policy of theirs is decided in Tehran, controlled by Tehran, and they are also sustained, in every sense of the term by, Iran. You tell me, is it done? Have you ever asked whether these people, this Hezbollah, do they believe in their own country's sovereignty? Are they under the rules of Beirut, whoever is the government there or regime there? I saw there some foreign minister and defense minister saying that look, what Israel has done is wrong. But then are you in control of your area, or what these people do? Hezbollah, that they even impose their own taxes, everything. So my point is precisely this. And what is their also goal? Again, destruction of Israel. And they border exactly that, is a bordering country. They also exactly believe in the destruction of Israel and controlled by the Iran. So ultimately, to sum up my things there, I think these are the two questions that have come in my mind, which I really shared with you, and I really want answers. And in fact, I have informally, in my interactions among my friends and strategic analysts, I often ask them, and I really want to know answers, that why is it that nobody talks of unconditional release of the Israeli hostages by the Hamas, which continues to believe in the destruction of Israel, and you say that there should be immediate ceasefire and Israel must withdraw from Gaza on the one hand. And similarly, here in Lebanon, there is another faction, and they of course are supported by, as I said, that Houthi rebels there and some of the extremist Shia elements in Syria, all controlled incidentally by Iran. And as I said, that why Iran is here in the picture, you take the macro view. Macro view I described, that what was happening and why Iran wanted to stop this, and it started, or rather it ensured, or rather it created this entire unfortunate crisis, beginning with attacks on Israel through the Hamas. That is the broad picture. I had gave the geopolitical in the picture, which is at the root of all these things. But as I said, as I have got this question on Hamas, I have got another question, of course, in Lebanon. Is Lebanon an independent and sovereign country? Have you done anything in that regard? So I am waiting for answers, and I am also posing these questions. I have kept these questions before you people. If any of you can answer, you always are most welcome. I'll be eagerly waiting for these answers. So thank you very much.